All right. Thank you guys for joining us for another insightful episode of Sankofa Inner City Cultural League After School Program. Today we are virtual, but please be reminded that you are welcome to join us here at the center for all of these lessons and activities that we do record for your viewing pleasure later. Today we're going to talk about voting. Voting, you say? Yes, voting. And I say that because I know for myself and many of my peers, we get into this feeling that voting is unimportant. And I want us today to talk about why voting is important and why we should keep doing it even into our adulthood. I have a short video for us to watch so we can hear from our young age why voting is important. And then we'll talk a little bit more about why voting is important. So give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Okay, so here we go again. Here is the short video that I was talking about.
Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi, boys and girls. Do you know what it means to vote? When people vote, they make an important choice. What if your family couldn't decide what to eat for dinner? What could you do? Take a vote to choose a dish. What if your basketball team needs a new captain? What could you do? Take a vote. As a citizen, voting is very important. Grown-ups who are 18 and older vote when it is time to choose new leaders for a community. This could be the mayor of a city or the governor of a state. Citizens even vote for the President of the United States. Let's see what happens when people vote. On Election Day, citizens go to a special place, like a library or a school gym, to vote for leaders in their community. Inside, there are many voting booths. These booths help people keep their votes private. Voters select their choices on a ballot and put it in the ballot box. Some voting booths have special computers instead of ballot boxes. After all the votes have been counted, a new leader is chosen. Let's review. When people vote, they make important choices. Citizens vote for leaders such as mayors, governors, and presidents. Election Day is a special day for voting. Voters select their choices on a ballot and place it in a ballot box. The votes are counted, and a new leader is chosen. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Subscribe.
All right, so that is why it is important to vote. And I know many of you may be thinking, well, I'm not old enough to vote. Well, you may not be old enough to vote for government officials, but there are votes that you are old enough to do. As they said, what happens when your family is trying to decide what the meal of the day should be, or the dinner, for example, or the breakfast, or the lunch? Then you may get an opportunity to actually have a say in what the meal will be. That's voting. We vote for team captains all the time. One of the things that the reasons I believe it's important is because it's the centerpiece of what democracy is about. And democracy is the type of government that we have. And without going into too much detail about democracy, just understand it is the freedom that we enjoy. Okay? But part of that freedom is that we have to vote for those officials that are going to act in our best interest. And yet you may be too young to vote for, like I said, government officials. But you know something, if you can get into the practice now of taking the time out to understand what the candidates stand for and how that may benefit you or be a detriment to you, then as you get older, it's just something that's just a part of you, something that you do. Understanding that voting doesn't mean that what you want or what you vote for, you get. It just means that you have allowed yourself to be heard. And that's what voting is about, being heard. You want whatever the particular things that are on the ballot. This is the candidate that's going to provide those things. You want that particular candidate. It's a conversation that you and your parents can have and find out who they intend to vote for and why they intend to vote for that particular person. I realize in the midst of this pandemic, it may be very difficult to get the full understanding of what it is to go down to the place of voting and actually vote. Because before it, we had the opportunity, if mom and dad went to the school or the library to actually vote, you could actually go with them and actually see the whole process. So you saw what it was to sign to register at the place and then actually stand in front of the actual ballot box and place your vote. I imagine during the pandemic, that's a lot more limited. They ask for fewer people to be in the building so as to keep everyone safe. But even if mom and dad are doing it through mail-in, you can still have the conversation as to who they're going to vote for, why they're going to vote for that person. And then you start to get an understanding of the types of things that go into choosing who you would vote for. And you can, even though you may not go to the polls and vote, you can still do research and find out about a particular candidate and possibly bring information to mom and dad that they may not have been aware of, or at least have the ability to have a conversation because now you have information that can be shared with mom and dad and actually decide which is the right way to go and the wrong way to go. But always understand that again, voting is almost, I don't want to say it's an obligation, but if we truly wish to stay free and enjoy the freedoms that democracy offers us, then we should vote. I am Mr. Williams. I thank you all for joining me today. This has been another episode of Sankofa Inner City Culture League. Again, we are coming to you virtual, but we are doing this locally. You guys are more than willing to, we're more than willing to have you guys come down to the building and join us. We would love to see you. You guys have a great day. Till next time, take care.